It had been one of those endless weeks that drain the life out of you. Work devoured every ounce of my time, leaving nothing but fatigue in its wake. Even weekends, once a small escape, had turned into nothing more than chores, errands, and a desperate attempt to catch up on rest I never really got. Jessica, my wife, had been different lately. Distant. Cold in ways that didn't come with words, but with silence, with the way she looked past me instead of at me. I tried to convince myself it was just stress, just life wearing her down like it did to everyone. But in the back of my mind, I knew better. Something was off. Still, tonight was supposed to be different. We'd planned it for days, a quiet dinner, a glass of wine, maybe a movie to remind us what us felt like. For the first time in weeks, I felt hopeful. When I walked through the door, tired but eager, Jessica met me with a small smile. But it was the kind of smile that said everything was not okay. "Hey, babe," she murmured, voice soft but detached. "I'm not really in the mood tonight. Maybe another time, okay?" Her words stung harder than they should have. All I wanted was closeness, a sliver of what we used to have. I nodded, forcing my expression to stay calm. "Sure," I said lightly, dropping my keys on the counter. "We can just stay in. No big deal." She smiled again, but it didn't reach her eyes. "I'll be in the other room," she said, and something in her tone made it sound like she was already gone. The house felt hollow after that. Too quiet. Too still. I sat on the couch, flipping through channels, not really watching anything. Every passing second only made the silence heavier. Then I heard footsteps. Kelly. Jessica's twin sister. Kelly had always been a fixture in our lives, vibrant where Jessica was reserved, carefree where Jessica was cautious. She had that kind of energy that filled a room without trying. But tonight something about her was different. "Hey, David," she greeted, her tone light, her eyes catching mine with a strange warmth. "Hey," I replied, trying to sound casual. "Just killing time. Jess isn't really up for hanging out tonight." "Yeah," she said softly, her smile tilting. "I figured." She walked over and sat beside me on the couch a little closer than usual. "Mind if I keep you company for a bit?" "Of course not," I said, managing a smile. "Been a while since we talked anyway." At first, it was harmless, idle conversation, shared laughs, small talk to fill the empty space. But slowly, the tone shifted. Her voice grew quieter, her gaze lingered longer, her body leaned just a little too near. "You know," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, "I've always admired what you and Jessica had. You two were something special." I exhaled, uncertain. "We were. I mean, I still love her. I just don't know where we went wrong." Kelly nodded slowly, her eyes searching mine in a way that made me uneasy. "People change. Relationships fade if you don't feed them." Then she paused, tilting her head slightly. "Sometimes, all it takes is a little spark to bring it back." Her words hung in the air between us, thick and heavy. I felt my pulse quicken. "Kelly, what are you saying?" She smiled, but it wasn't her usual teasing grin. It was something else. Something deliberate. "I'm saying," she murmured, "that maybe you've been waiting too long for something that isn't coming back. Maybe it's time you let yourself feel wanted again." The air in the room shifted. Hot, tense, dangerous. Before I could respond, a voice came from the doorway. "What are you two talking about?" "Jessica." She stood there, her expression unreadable, eyes flicking from me to her sister. There was no anger, just a strange, calm awareness that made my chest tighten. "I was just keeping David company," Kelly said easily, her tone smooth, almost rehearsed. "Is that okay?" Jessica didn't answer. She watched us for a long second, then turned and walked away without a word. The silence that followed was suffocating. When I finally turned back to Kelly, she was still watching me. But this time, there was no mistaking what was in her eyes. Desire, defiance, danger. "I think you should take a chance, David," she whispered, leaning close enough for me to feel her breath. "You deserve to feel wanted, don't you?" My heart hammered against my ribs. Every rational thought screamed no. But she was right there, Jessica's twin, her reflection, her opposite. And when she whispered again, Her words cut through the noise like a blade. If Jessica won't give you what you need, maybe I will. The room felt smaller, the air heavier. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Every boundary I'd ever known blurred into something reckless, forbidden, and dangerous. And in that moment, I realized I was standing on the edge of something that could destroy everything I'd ever loved.